Shelter, Brock Sancher. I love the artwork on that one. Misty's Duel, Blaine's Vulpix. Oh, I was incorrect. We pulled probably the best card you could pull out of that set. Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming. Welcome to the channel. If you were here during the live video, which was the last video, I apologize for that fan noise in the background. For those of you who mentioned it in chat, yeah, it is definitely annoying. I hear it. It was from a bad cord to my mic. It was actually the cord that it came with, and I put in an aftermarket 6-foot long cord that's bent, and I think it sounds a lot better. So that should be fixed now. For those of you who won during the live, there were 3 winners. One person is claimed. In fact, several people tried claiming that Pikachu. That was won by Timokthi or whatever that username was. But there are 2 other winners. They have not claimed it yet. Make sure you send me an email from your email. So if you were there during the live and you checked out because the noise or you had to go or because it was an hour long, then go back in to the description of this video or that video. Make sure you didn't win some of those PSA graded cards. And if you did, send me an email. We did manage to complete the master set for Pokemon Go. We pulled the Rainbow Rare Blanche about an hour into the video happening. Now, if a meteor happened to drop out of the sky, we got it. We got the Blanche, and that winner has claimed his prize. Several people tried claiming that as well, but there are some ways to check into that. But we're going to get into some consignments for this video. I was going to open up a Neo Destiny booster pack for you guys at the very end, but I had some technical difficulties on my side, so this is about the 3rd time that I've recorded this video, which I don't normally do, but when it doesn't record, then you have to record it again. So that buyer is getting refunded. I will show what he pulled from the pack anyways. It's probably a good thing because it wasn't that good of pulls, but I'll show it to you. And then we're going to open up something else at the very end. Now this right here, what we have is a consignment. And you can see there's a lot of WotC Holos that we have. Let me tilt that this way just a little bit, get a little bit extra light on there. And a lot of these 8s and 9s, they're going to go for a much lower price than some of the 10s that you guys are going to see in this video. So here is a Charizard 8. All of these are going to be listed on July 5th. If this video pops up late in the evening, then that'll be today. So you guys can check it out on my eBay store. I don't have it on the backside yet, but they're going to have CS6 in the title, so you can use that as a search term to find all of them. Now the ones I'm getting ready to show you, these are going to be listed on Thursday, the 7th. So these are a little bit farther off. I already had a bunch of consignments that kind of went through for the 9th. Now, if you see swirl in the title, it's because they actually have a swirl. And this is something that I have not typically put in the title of my listings. However, it was requested by the consignee, and I totally get it. You know, I wouldn't have thought it was a thing, but swirls in holographic cards, that is definitely a thing now. And a lot of people pay extra to have those swirls. Didn't want to zoom in. Let's see if it'll zoom in on Charizard's face. There we go. Maybe we'll pull it back. I don't personally look for swirls in my holographic cards. I just kind of look more for the condition and the grade and the card itself. But, you know, if there's a swirl there, I acknowledge that it's going to have a small premium. Now, if I had like a partial swirl, like this Dark Alakazam, I don't think I actually put it in the title, but it does have a swirl right there between his legs. But because it's not very noticeable and part of it is cut off by his leg, more so than, you know, like this, where this one's cut off a little bit, but I still put this in the title. I think it's the reflection that's kind of affecting the zoom on it. I didn't put it in the title, again, for ones like Dark Alakazam. So some of these may have a partial swirl, but I just did not include it. Now I did include it for this Dark Charizard. It does, it's about 2/3 out of the wing, but because of the positioning where it's at the top part of his tail, on his wing, you can see this one a little bit better in person. You kind of see it there. Most of the swirl part is out in the holo, so I did put it in the title on that one. But anyways, yeah, it's something that I've noticed. If I picture a card that I have multiple quantity of, say like I don't know, an Eevee, the number 11, the one that you guys have seen me grade many times. In fact, I've graded over 1,000 of that card. If I picture a PSA 7, even though I might have 100 of them, and the one I picture has a swirl in it, everyone who buys that card They're basically expecting to have a nice little swirl that's visible, and I've had several returns happen because of that. And I get it, you know, it's me kind of cheapening out on the work that I need to do. I've got 100 different Eevees technically, but they're all the exact same card that have been graded, the exact set card anyways, that have been graded the exact same grade by PSA. So I don't want to flood out 100, you know, at once, just have one listing with 100 of them. So now what I do is, if a card has a swirl in it and I have multiple of it, I do not picture it. Now, as for this Dark Magneton, the reason I am going in depth with this one is because, if you're not aware, this card is very low pop. It's quite difficult to grade in PSA 10, and that's because of the holographic background that it has. Usually there are print lines that are very obvious, even straight out of the pack. The Unlimited, this is first edition, the Unlimited is even more scarce. I'm not going to say necessarily that it's tougher to grade. It has a much lower pop, but a lot of that has to do with, this isn't a card that typically would be graded, because Magneton isn't a person's favorite card. You know, a lot of Charizards, Blastoise, Dragonite, Raichus, you're going to see a lot of those have been graded in the pop, especially near the beginning when cards were more fresh out of the pack, easier to find in mint condition. This is more of an afterthought. I think as people realized how tough it was to grade, they were sending more and more, and it increased the price, which, you know, exposed the card more. And so, you know, there have been a lot of Team Rocket boxes that have been opened up over the past year. So it would not surprise me if the pop has increased quite a bit on a card like that, since it could just be sitting in a binder somewhere. But it's highly unlikely after, you know, 20 some years that somebody's going to be pulling out a mint copy for that Dark Magneton, unless they open it up from a booster box. Don't get me wrong, Team Rocket is it's a pretty common box to find if you want to open it up, in comparison to, you know, some other sets like Sky Ridge or, you know, EX series, but it's still very expensive. It's a tough grade. So I think when Loot Box had come through here, he had told me he had paid $2,500 maybe for his. Maybe it was more. Maybe it was like $4,000. I can't remember. I ended up paying $4,500 for mine. I didn't think his was a good purchase at that time. In fact, I thought it was kind of high. But then I ended up paying more myself, you know, for my personal copy. And I've seen copies go for a range ever since then. I'm not sure where they're at now, but that one's a very nice copy. It seems pretty strong in my opinion, but I did put a scan of both the front and the back. I need to go back and check this one, because I think I forgot to put this was a no symbol. And if you guys are familiar with the Jungle set, you had the first edition print run, you had Unlimited, and then I think it was an entire print run for Jungle of the Unlimited. There were several print runs for Unlimited Jungle, as for base and for Fossil and many other sets in Pokemon. But as you can see right there, there is no Jungle symbol right there, and they're definitely harder to find. They're not crazy hard to find, but they are more scarce than the regular. And in 10, I still need several for my own personal set. Old Jim at Pokemon, he's got probably the world's biggest collection of no symbol holos. He's been buying them bad boys for a long time. Scyther, Vaporeon. But if you're looking for good quality cards without breaking the bank like a PSA 10 would, 8s and 9s. A lot of quality there. A lot of bang for your buck. Got some Venusaurs, Wigglytuff, and then Zapdos. So that finishes out that consignment. There was another consignment that came in that had just one card. I'll show that here in a second. Did I just smack this camera? I might have. We've got this Cubone. And if you look at it, this is actually the parallel holo from Team Rocket Returns. I think they did it right back then. I'd love for them to bring back this style of reverse holo. This was put into the reverse holo spot. I know it says reverse foil. Foil is typically used in Magic the Gathering. Holo is done for Pokemon, unless you're talking about Topps. Maybe it's a sports reference. You kind of usually say foil for that stuff. But anyways, the parallel holo means it's basically holo, and then it has the set written or printed, you know, right over, you know, one of the corners. And it wasn't like that for every EX series set. I believe the first few through Team Magma, Team Aqua had the regular reverse holo type, and those are very tough to grade. And then they switched over to the parallel. And when you got back to Diamond and Pearl, they switched back again to the regular reverse holo, where it was a true reverse holo, kind of like this Ditto Numel, where it was just holographic everywhere but the picture. Alright, next up, this is the one card that I bought. We have the unscratched Charizard from 1997. I can only assume that it's the correct year. A lot of times with these Japanese cards, I'm just going with what they say on the card. Like the Top Sun, you know, I assume it was 95, but been told it's 97, so a lot of people get pretty heated over that, so we'll just go with 97. You know, on Yu-Gi-Oh, they all say 1996, and they're definitely, I mean, there have been many cards released past 1996 that are not released in that year. In fact, Yu-Gi-Oh wasn't released until 2002 here in America. But this one was the last card that I needed for my PSA set registry for 2022. And there are many other cards that I do still need. They're just not in the master set list just yet. In fact, the unscratched one I don't have, and that's not in the set list. Now, here's the booster pack that I opened up. And unfortunately, because of technical difficulties, it didn't work out. And I'm going to have to refund this buyer. But I'm still going to give him a shout out. We have Anthony Serta. I believe this is the nephew of the buyer. He said this is his first Neo Destiny pack. He was hoping that he pulled a shiny. Now, with Neo Destiny, we know that the weight is typically irrelevant. At this weight, it could be heavy or light. Neos, they're all over the place. But with Neo Destiny, again, it doesn't matter as much because shinings we have found typically come from lighter weight packs. And then you've got the holographic cards that would come in the heavier packs. So Neo Destiny is a fun set to buy on eBay because a lot of times, as long as the packs haven't been resealed, it doesn't really matter if they've been weighed because you might have a chance of pulling a Shining Charizard or, you know, any of the other 7 Shinings that come from the set. There's 8 total Shinings, so I don't know if I said that right, but Charizard 1 and another 7 of them. We got Celebi, Charizard, Kabutops, Tyranitar, Noctowl, Mewtwo, Raichu, and I probably missed one in there. Alright, so we have Slugma, mail from Bill. You're going to see why I definitely needed to refund this buyer. Can't charge somebody for a bad pull in a pack that wasn't recorded. I said that the light Dugong was my favorite pull from the pack, and then the rare was actually a dark Ursaring. Now it could have been worse. It could have been, you know, a rare trainer, but didn't get a holo, didn't get a shining, and I didn't open it up on camera, so I apologize for that. If I'd had another Neo Destiny pack, we would open it up in that place. But instead, I'm gonna have to give you a refund for that. So again, I apologize. I wanted to open that up for you, but since we didn't have a pack to open up, I'm going to open up this Gym Heroes. As long as we're still recording, we are still recording. This is most certainly a light pack, but with Gym Heroes, it's pretty tough. So I want to open it up. This is a pack that I would sell to somebody because I believe cards inside of it have a chance of being bent up a little bit. I can't remember if it's the same 3 off the back or not. I'm about to find out. All right, cool. All right, so we have... Come on, Zoom. There we go. Sabrina Slowbro. Misty Starmie. That's not bad. And Energy. Sabrina's Mr. Mime. Ooh, we got us a Pikachu. There we go. Misty Shelter. Brock Sancher. I love the artwork on that one. Misty's Duel. Blaine's Vulpix. Oh, I was incorrect. We pulled probably the best card you could pull out of that set. Dang. I did this to someone else before. They had, this is the one pack that wasn't opened up when Enlisted Leaf and those guys showed up. They kept opening up Gym Heroes packs and getting duds. Dan, if you just opened up this pack, man, you would have had yourself a holo. But, dude, look at that. Do y'all see any print lines? Wow, that looks great. I'll tell you what, the guy who had the Neo Destiny pack, if you want this one instead of a refund, you can have it. But in all seriousness, you're not going to get your money back on that. Unless if this pulled a 10, you could, but that would be your only chance. Wow, look at that. That's a good looking Sabrina's Gengar. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely saw a card I was not expecting from that random pack that's just been kind of tossed around in the back of my vault room for the past few weeks. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll try to do a live again very soon. Thanks.